You know, I am completely sick today, and I really shouldn't be making this video. I'm so tired, I should be resting, but I couldn't rest. And I'm gonna tell you, I have a lot of health issues. I'm not obese, but I am fat. I'm not afraid to admit it. And I deal with depression. And the reason I bring this up isn't just because of depression, but it can lead into depression when people bully you. I can't say I regretted ever doing my fair share of doing bullying. I regretted that I couldn't bring into bullying because the general consensus of bullying is very bad. The way I did it, no one has ever tried to do. And this is the kind of thing that I will not try to justify and try to even reiterate in today's society. But see, bullying should never be a thing, is what I've always said. But that's because of how this world has treated it. And that's because of the way that people do things. Especially when you go out of your way to do things and you dish out stuff. This is another reason why to avoid the online world, because generally there are communities and stuff you just don't want to be a part of. Because there are just so many of them, especially the online PvP games, whether it's mobile or PC. When it's online, there are a bunch of bullies. They don't care. All they want to do is bully you. Even people that want to be number one above you because they think they can do better than you. They think that they know they can do better than you. They're not doing better than you because they're trying to compete and be number one. And for a while there, it works until someone else competes and beats number ones over them because they overshadowed them. Eventually they just can't keep up. No matter how young or how old you get, eventually someone will overshadow you. Basically, you will be left behind. Just because you did it to me, and I'm not even competing, doesn't mean that I'll ever be able to beat you. But in a way, I have beaten you. For many of us that are victims, we will have beaten you, the bully. But the thing I wanted to say was that when it comes to it, was that I regret when I did this too young, and I was unable to successfully do it the way that should have been done all along. Which, again, I'm not going to try to redo into today's society. It just isn't possible. Because we can never accept bullyism. Even I can't, because of the way that it was handled. It's not because of the way the victims handled it. No, you can't blame them for that. It's the ones who pulled it off. And how they did it was so terribly wrong. This guy that I knew, or rather kid, that's kind of around the same age as me, and I was really young at the time. And I'm not going to say I was stupid either. But anyway, I had him on my side for a while there until he finally said he couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I mean, I really just, please don't tell my dad. And because I was young, and, my dad would, see, the thing is, we always say, well, parents are gonna kill you. No, my dad would have never killed me. My dad would have beat me. Yeah, sure. But, because I grew up in that kind of world where there was that thing where you get a butt whooping if you do something terribly wrong, as it should be. I can't say I've ever liked spankings, no. They don't really fascinate me in any sort of way. I will never say that, oh, I'm a better person because I got spanked or something like that. No. But I will say that even though I didn't like it, I'm still like somewhat the same. The only difference is that I wasn't a mindless zombie, and I may not be is rage-induced, I guess. I don't know if that's even the right word that fits it. Before I had to be put on pills. And that was one of the major reasons why I had to be put on pills. Because I had so much, I don't know, anger in me, I guess, or something. And I still get anger. But I don't get, like, that anymore. And anyway, so this woman was talking about how she was being bullied. You know, how they would sit there and call her over. And I'm thinking, you know... So, here's the thing. Even if you weren't over, so what? You be the best over that you can be. You're a better over-not than negative because they're not even a juggernaut. They're nothing but weak, pathetic people. Or beings that try to attack you because they can't handle what they dish out. I mean, they can't take what they can dish out. That's a lot of times when people are like that. So, and I know it's easier said than done in most cases, but in most cases, you know, I've been dealt with like I've been an outsider, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I've been bullied all my life. Online, in person. It started in person, and then it wound up being on Facebook as well, among other things. And I don't care for it. Again, I'm not going to justify and try to say it's right or wrong to be a bully, but I will say that it's wrong to bully. Yes. To be a bully, I'm not going to justify whether that's right or wrong. Based on from what I did it and from other people did it, you know, there's a huge difference. At least the way I did it. I'm not even going to get into it because it's just I don't want to get into it because it's not going to make it any easier for people to accept because it probably should be changed anyway. If it were going to go that way, because really to be a bully to someone that does bullying, and that's not cool. The way I did it, I'll just tell you, I did pick on someone, yes. But I did it where at least they can handle it, and I tried to get them that way, and that's what happened. And I've had a friend, or supposedly a friend too, another one, eventually he turned his back on me, I think. I've had many people do that. I've had a world where there is no such thing as friends. No one gives two craps about me. You know? And I'm not asking anybody to. I will say though that when it comes to my content, and you start berating my content, then you're being a bully. And that's not fair. I put a lot of effort into this. Sure, I didn't edit everything and put in a bunch of naked cartoons and women in there, spice it up with a bunch of sex, because everybody used to think that sex sells. In a lot of ways, it still does. It really does. But I'm going to tell you, at the same time, I don't promote nor do I do that stuff. I'm not going to say I don't condone sex or anything like that. I just don't do it. For the lack of funding. Not because it's not that it's not the right thing to do. It's the fact that I don't have a lot of funding, first of all. Secondly, this website, any website that's publicly, that has to do with everybody in the whole world watching, including their family, they're not going to want to watch nudity and sex. They're not going to want to watch that. Or even any kind of sex, even if it's just some kind of weird way that they do something, some kind of weird fantasy or whatever. They're not going to want to watch that. So that's why you don't see that. I can't help the way that my content, my quality comes out, okay? I can't say I've ever had best compared to everybody else, but I'm not going to try to compare my stuff to everybody else. If I did that, I'd have to watch each and every person who's ever done a playthrough of this game or any game that I have ever done. And then be like, well, that just puts my stuff to shame and I shouldn't even be doing this. I mean, technically speaking, nobody should be doing this. Nobody. But they choose to. Like I do. I choose to do this for myself. And I do it, try to do it as well to please people I know is going to want to watch it. I'm not going to try to do it where I try to please everybody. And there's no such thing as pizza being the thing that tries to please everybody. That's a stupid slogan because, I mean, it's kind of a silly joke anyway. I get that it is. But the thing is, pizza does not try to please everybody because you just, a lot of people don't even like pizza. And I can accept that. You know, a lot of people can't. A lot of people don't even like pineapple. And I'm going to tell you what, the thing about pineapple is doesn't make you a bad person if you eat it. It's healthy for you. If you don't want to eat it, that's your own business. Don't sit there and start judging other people because, oh, you don't want to eat it. Call them the heathen, the bad person, and that you refuse to be. You think it's so stupid that people put pineapple on their pizza. We don't think it's stupid because you don't do it. It's like the same thing I feel about when somebody cheats or doesn't cheat. See, I don't fully cheat. You know, I would love to fully cheat in every game I ever have. But there's a lot of games I try to experience without cheating. I just do. Not just because people think it's terrible. I'm not doing it just to say, yeah, because they think it's terrible. I do this because I'm doing it the way I want to. That is my trickery. For the most part, there are just some games that I feel that I just can't do without cheating anyway. Just some games. But I will try and do what you call a, you know, without the cheats as much as possible, where I try to do that. You know, even if I have to just splice in a little bit of cheats here and there that are more justified, that are more earned, I would say. You know, because, you know, I gotta be able to get through it. I gotta be able to survive this ever-growing world of that. And I've learned that as well, that there is no place for me in my trickery in this world. My own shenanigans. I'm not asking the world to evolve around me. I've learned that as well, that apparently some people think it's trash quality. But I'm going to tell you something. My content sounds off most of the time because I have a fan running. And what do you expect when it gets hot? You know, when it's gonna blow over that air. I mean, even as loud as it can get, sometimes because I have to have air going to this device. This is a laptop. A laptop does just as well as a desktop. You know, you can put in graphics cards, stuff like that, in there, but you got to make it do the right one. You can't just shove any old graphic card in there. You know, that's why they have them specifically made. Yeah, I admit, it did depress me to hear such things by somebody. It's not the first time somebody put me down. You know, I forget exactly how they put it, but it was just like telling me that my entire, his exact words were like, it was like, this is oh, I can't believe it's 2023 and still people don't know the basic knowledge of how to do better quality content. I didn't promise to be perfect. And I'm still not going to promise that. I never even thought about becoming perfect. But if you don't like my content, then why are you here? Why are you on the last, or one of the latest videos I have where you trash talk it? I mean, I understand being constructive and all that, but I didn't scam anybody. I didn't give anybody anything, and I didn't give them a refurbished console that was supposedly refurbished, but that wasn't. I didn't ask people to spend out their money. I didn't ask anybody to watch. I just knew people would. And I admit that most of the time when I'm doing this kind of junk, I don't know if it's real or legit, because it doesn't tell me who's watching my content. All I know is people watch. That's it. I don't know if it's AI or whatever, just like when people comment, because it's at random. I don't have a full connection, if I did have a connection at all, to my, you know, people, my subscriber base, like a lot of people do. And a lot of people that have grown, they have lost that connection. Because they were, you know, there's a lot of people who have grown even more than that. They were just in it, and I have seen them. I don't watch their videos. Well, I might watch, okay, I take that back. I watch a little bit of it. If it seems to pique my interest. That's if it piques my interest. And I'll admit that a lot of stuff they do is very stupid. But if they're doing the same thing that I'm doing, chances are I'm not going to watch it. Or if it's something I'll never be able to play in my lifetime, unless I get reborn, then yeah, I'll watch it. I admit it. I will do that. I'll spoil my brains on it. But anything that I haven't played before or have already played, I still haven't beaten it all the way through, I don't want to watch it until I'm done, you know? Because that is how I feel. You know? And the thing is that people seem to not understand that. Okay? I have a fan. I have explained this. I have a fan in my background. I'm not going to sit here and try to do a lot of things to please everybody. I mean, you know, I might not even do the whole level 40 thing. I don't even know yet. But I feel like, you know, I feel like crap right now. I'm tired. I feel like I wanted to make this video just generally because I actually want to talk about bullying. I really didn't want to talk about what the hell somebody was telling me, but it was brought it up. Reminded me of it. So that's the thing about this kind of junk. You can't just go in it and expect that people aren't going to be that way to you. It's not going to happen. You know, it's not an air. You know, it's just crazy. You know, trash quality is not what I think this is. And I'll tell you something else. The reason I can't pull this in full screen, although I could do that, it actually messes with my controls. And not only that, does it reset my controls, but I also can't record in full screen as much as I'd like to. And it doesn't, and even when I do have it in full screen, depending on what device it is, how do I put this? You know, it doesn't show it. That's right. That's where I'm sorry. I lost my shot. I thought that doesn't always happen though when I'm tired. But a lot of times, even when I'm not tired, I don't think. And there's times that I do even when I'm sick. I mean, like more so than I would, where I'm not losing track of what I'm trying to say. I am so tired these days. It's not funny. And no, I don't have COVID. I don't. I'll never have COVID. Because I can fight the thing. What I can't fight is normal sickness, because this isn't Star Trek. You know, I can get instantly a cure from it, and I never have to worry about it again. Like, I mean, even though that COVID is a thing, you still can't get a cure for it. People were saying that. I didn't buy into it. I didn't buy it the first time that they said it. And the only reason why I followed the CDC was because at the time it was the only accurate source. And then they started being where they were again unreliable. I mean, there was a time that they were reliable, and then they become unreliable again. I was like, no, I don't trust that. But then my dad convinced me, because that was the only way we were getting any accurate information about a lot of stuff that was going on. And a lot of it is accurate, but there's just things that's not. Like when they decided to say that, well, if you get this thing, you'll get cured. It'll never come back. What happened was, not only did it come back, but you got another stage. There's an Omicron, a Beta, a Theta, all of this other baloney hole crap. And then they also talked about getting boosts and stuff, and it's crazy. It's 5:01 p.m. by the way, and this is being recorded as of Thursday, September the 14th of the year 2023. I have a lot of videos recorded well in advance. you know. And I'll tell you what, it's not easy to live in this world. Mainly I wanted to share with whoever's going to give it a rat's patootie, and I know people are. That's never the question or doubt in my mind. It just, while I can, I'm not trying to be the extra number one be all, guide per se. If I was doing that, I would be probably more better at Ocarina of Time. And I'm just not. I mean, this is why it's kind of my first playthrough. I mean, even though I did kind of put some trickery into it, and I feel like that even without the trickery, it would still be horrible. Because of other things. And I was thinking about doing a specialty thing where I do 2 different series now. I mean, at first it was just going to be One Piece, and then again, I didn't know how many others I was going to, and then I started thinking about this other series. And now that it's out, it's Bleach. You would have already seen it by now if you're looking on BitChute. And that's where a lot of my stuff goes to. A lot of my better quality, I would say, if I had to really pick between the two, is up there, because a lot of this I had to start out with 0 volume because I didn't know. And because so far I haven't had any problems. And when I don't have any problems, I'm okay. But I'm still very leery about PlayStation, because PlayStation's been the number one be-all thing that was having problems with its games. Like, literally, Suikoden had a track on there. It played for an hour. I didn't mean for it to play for an hour. I didn't even mean to talk that long. I really didn't. I don't never intend to play for very long, or have it just sit there where I'm not doing anything. I never really do, but then there's just sometimes I just feel like I have to talk, and I just feel like I want to more talk about there. I wouldn't exactly say I'm the most worst person in the world, but for myself, I would. But not above anyone else in the whole world that exists. No. I feel that everybody equally matters, but I feel like at the same time, because this is for me, myself, and I have to take back what I said about children. It's true that they don't suffer in school, but there was a time that there was. Yeah. But the only way that they ever truly suffer is if they're in a home like what I've seen on the deal when they started making a wholesome family video. This was literally something that was captured. Another thing is, before I continue on, I don't trust TikTok. I hate TikTok with a passion. And I have to say that because it's true. So many people get on there, and it's more of a fake platform. Because a lot of people used to say, well, you ain't real unless you're on there, or unless you're also making a lot of money. And I don't even know how I could possibly do that, even if I was in it for the money, which I'm not. But even if I was, I don't get enough people to even bother following me and watching me and doing all that kind of junk. And I'm never gonna beg for subscribers. I mean, yeah, most of the time I'll say subscribe, blah blah blah, but only every so often. I don't want to push it. I've never wanted to bring it to any platform where I said subscribe, like, and share. I never really wanted to do that. And every now and again I try to I have to push it out there because I've worked so hard to do what I did. I mean, okay, maybe I didn't exactly work on this game itself, just like, whatever, but I put enough time into it, and I've also sat there and done what I can in life. Yeah, that may not mean anything to you bunch of lazy people out there, sit there and judge me, sit there how much better than you can do because you edit your videos. You do this, you do that, you put in there and put a bunch of naked women in there and stuff like that. You could probably get away with that because you can also censor it if you had to. I don't do that. I don't have a way to censor it, even if I could. I wouldn't do it anyway. And that's half the thing. And I have... there's so much wrong with me. It's not funny. I plan to live forever, but I don't know if I will or not. I I hadn't exactly planned on living forever with this body or anything like that. Maybe putting it in hibernation and taking it out once in a while. That's just something I wanted to do. There's a lot of dreams I had that are busted. I wanted to go to space. That didn't happen. I want to build an ultimate Gundam. That didn't happen, and go to space. It didn't happen. I've always wanted to go to space. Ever since I even thought about it, you know. Ever since I even saw Gundam Wing, and I thought, you know, this would have been something that I would have loved to do, because I didn't care. I mean, I liked G Gundam, but I don't care for that, all that standing stuff and sitting on my legs. I used to be able to sit on my legs, Indian style. I never have such problems. But nowadays, I do. I don't even remember when it first started. I just remember when I started doing it again. It just, you know, they get so numb, I can't hardly get up. And especially if I sit a certain way, my legs get numb, and then it starts hurting. I've never had that before. But they do hurt. And so, you know, every now and again I get Charlie horses. That's not good either. Sure, judge me all you want to, but it doesn't stay, change the fact that I am what I am. I'm not here for you, to please you. I'm not here to lick your boots and tell you, yes, master, I will make better videos. I'd love to kiss your butt. Be a suck up to you. I'm here to suck up to you, make you freaking happy. Your wish is my command. Would you like me to clean up the poop that's in your toilet too? I suggest you shut your damn mouth. I'm not here for you. I'm here for people that actually care. I'm here for myself. You know, I admit a lot of this is for myself to look back on. A lot of this is also for people, well, I can do it. I mean, I know, it's because I know I can share off my voices, not to be a show off, like I'm a better voice actor. I don't care about that kind of crap. If I cared about that, it would be my voice acting is horrible, ever. It took me years before I could do quite a bit of voice acting. You know, it took me many years before I could do Boo Boo. You guys wouldn't even know that if you're from this generation. You know, Yogi, I couldn't do that voice. It took me a long time to whistle. You know, I don't know how long it took me to walk and talk, but sure I did walk and talk. I rode a bicycle. I used to. I don't ride a bicycle anymore. I can't ride one anymore. I've thought about it, but it hurts too much. I forget that how easily it hurts to sit on a bike. And a lot of you are like, well, you know, you should get a bike because it's cheaper. I'm not going to go out in this rain and get myself soaked. And see, the thing that's wrong with me as well, not to add injury to insult, but I have sensitive skin. And I love seeing the rain come down and all that kind of stuff. I don't love being out in it. I love the sun being out. I don't love being out in it. You know, I don't love the heat. I don't love the cold. I love the cool and the warm. And a lot of you may think that's weird that I only like warm and cold, because those are the only true temperatures I can be in. Sure, I can walk the heat, but how long can I survive in it before I melt? Or rather, well, not only that, but before my skin starts to burn, because my skin is easily susceptible to sunburn. You know, it's susceptible to that stuff, and I have to have sunscreen on if I'm going to sit there and and it's hard for me to do all that. I hate being out in the heat, and I hate being out in the cold. You know, and it makes it harder to make videos. The harder it is, the colder it is. But I pushed myself through this to make videos. A lot of times I couldn't do it. But the worst of all that makes me not do a video is when I'm so depressed, or I'm just not in the mood. I just don't feel like making a video. So I wind up ultimately not making a video. This game, I could have already been doing some things, but I just wanted to quickly go over those things. And I know this took up a lot of time doing that, but the thing is, can you really blame me? No. I mean, seriously, I'm not here to, I mean, I didn't even have to explain myself, but I think it's time you all know. I mean, you know how well I've struggled and tried to get things on this track up here because I had to start over many, many times. It's annoying because I've had so many troubles with consoles. A lot of you are so lucky and fortunate because you have money on hand. And I know damn well a lot of them out there that have actually even, they've struggled too. But they had more of a way to get things replaced easily enough and in a timely manner. I have not. This is why for a long time, ooh, that's an ordered police car. I've never seen one of those in a long time. Anyway, you know, get them in a manly fashion in a time where I've had to wait several months or so, or so many months, or so many years, before I can get a good, decent console. This is before emulation and before I even record it, or even before I can record again and start doing things. I had to wait. And when I found iPhone, I was doing stuff like that, and I noticed I didn't like the quality of that. You know, you're gonna sit there tell me that that was good quality. The only thing I liked about the good quality about it was during the time that I actually recorded. When it came out, a lot of the videos that I made were not right. It doesn't fit the screen. You'd have to turn your screen and it just doesn't look right. And I don't like that. And Eden was one of the perfect examples that I just did not like when it came out after it was done recording. I mean, it only happened when I uploaded it. And I admit that mobile has come a long ways, but it's still a long ways from absolutely being the most accurate thing that perfectly enough to be, you know, just as good as doing this on PC, which is way better than doing it on a console. Because, I mean, yes, consoles are way better for the idea of just playing it on a console. That's the thing of the difference. And I feel like y'all just don't realize that. Yeah, because the reason why it's better, because you can do save states. And we can be save state abuse champions, even though that I really never thought of it like that way, until somebody kept bringing it up, and someone just did. Because of a famous YouTuber, he's probably, I don't know, passed away or not. We don't know. I'm not trying to suggest it, but there's that remote feeling he's gone now. And not just because he wanted to live his life. I understand that, okay? I mean, the man put out so much dedication to his channel, and he didn't have to do that either. And because he actually revealed his name, yes, it was Richard. I didn't know that. He said that because of a live stream he did once, which I never saw it. I never got to see it. And he forgot that he actually had something on Ustream, which is still, I'm not even sure if it's even there. I think they just took that down. But Necroscope 86, this is before archives, and Retroscope 86. He also made another channel before he could get back access to his main channel, Necroscope 86. And what happened to him was he deleted all of his content, which is a very sad shame, instead of just having it archived, you know, which because a lot of his stuff is missing now. And it's harder than hell getting a lot of people to absolutely hand over the, oh, I think those were new enemies, I'm not sure. Hand over that content, you know, and that's the thing about stuff like that. And we just, you know, I think that everybody has a right to be on YouTube. Except for people who are just in it for the money and subscribers. I really don't think it's right. But I'm not going to stop them either way. You know, it's just, it's not somebody who I am. I believe in supporting people too. That's why I give them views if I feel like it's necessary, you know. You know, I don't mean to give people views to people that don't deserve them. They really don't. But there's nothing I can do. I can't control it. So, Undergrounder. Spider Silk, that's something new. Gaia Drum, that's very handy. But I still don't use those. Sirens, I'll never use. Okay, so Hell Flapper. I got Alarm Clock, not that useful. Tiny Toad is new. Slaying a bunch of 12 of those because there was like 6 of them, I think, for battle or whatever. They also did it in a chest. The Maiden's Kiss is all they got. Oh, look at that. Ribbon. Ooh, that's a good drop right there. That's pretty good. Soma Drafts is pretty good too. And Dry Ether would be good too. Mammon. And Remedy would be really good out of that. Everything else is crap. Mallet? No. Yeah, there we go. And Belficker or Potion? No. Curse Ring? He doesn't have anything that we could pick up anyway. So, yeah. Holy. Bloody Eye? No, it doesn't have anything even useful. Warrior. Oh, those are good to get. Cottages and tents. Mini Santana. Satana. Ethers will be good. The rest of it's crap. Yeah, Bell of Silence, no. Summoner. Ooh, Healing Staff is good. Ruling Armament is good. Rune Staff and Grimoire is pretty good to get. Yeah, see, most of these guys have crap, and some of them have items that we can already get. Gaia Drum would have been good out of that. Satisfyer Self, not so much. High Potion would be good. Potion's not so much. Neither one of those are good because we can actually pick those up. This Vamp, Vampire Fang, Kiss of Lilith, neither one of those are good. Trapdoor. Used to be with it when you got these, there would have been a boss music for that, but nothing. You don't get that. I think there's like other versions where you get more, where you can find secret dungeons. They have more of that, and I can't see whether that's in the sequel to this. There was 2 direct sequels to Final Fantasy IV. One of them was the very first one that came out, was where I can't tell you what was involved without spoiling it, but I can tell you it is a direct sequel, and it actually has. I don't know if it has that or not, but there's quite a bit of it that's very interesting. And then they had the pre-one. Oh yeah, it was called. That was the second direct one was called Final Fantasy the After Years, not the. So yeah, look at that, 54% for complete. So I'm no expert on a lot of games, and I don't claim to be. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert. I mean, I'm an expert as far as like being have any kind of expert experience into this stuff, but not enough to say I've actually completed a game or had to have known about it. Like Final Fantasy 1. Am I that good? No. There we go. No treasures, lightning. Some of them actually have where they drop stuff, so that's something. I've seen games where you actually have to fight summons, all the summons, which is crazy. And I think that's just nuts. I don't think you should have to fight them at all. Final Fantasy 12 was a prime example of it. Yeah, I like the game, don't get me wrong, but the problem I had with it was, to me, it was not a real Final Fantasy for me. Because you were missing one thing. You couldn't explore the entire world with it like you could the other games. And that, to me, was like a big no-no. So, even Final Fantasy X was not that way. So, yeah, it wasn't a real Final Fantasy. The real Final Fantasy that actually was a thing actually stopped with Final Fantasy IX, even though I'm not a huge fan of 9 because I haven't completed it. Although I do like the game, I wouldn't say I hate it by any means. So, yeah, that's going to happen a lot. So we're just going to have to take, bite our tongue here or whatever. Well, not physically, mind you, but like, no, there isn't, like, not literally, but figuratively speaking, and just kind of, or bite the bullet, just kind of, you know, I hate that when it does that. Then he gets to get no experience. I may generally not care about Edge, but in these general fights, I'm gonna have to keep Edge around until I can find a better way of a crew assignment here. So the thing is, as well, is that about this game is that I love it, but I don't know why that was there. I just accepted to get that. So, in the long run, I think he also learns Protect, if I'm not mistaken. And I could have started this out with 40, but I just didn't do that. And I'm not going to apologize. Maybe I will, but not quite like, you know, oh, like, I really, like, how do I put this? I really regret doing it. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I'm not going to apologize like I regret it, because I just don't. You know, honestly, if you think I want to regret doing the way that I do things, oh, come on! Why is it every time I do this, y'all have to knock out somebody, one of my characters? This is insane. You know, one good thing, drawback about this is that we have that. Yeah, at least Leviathan, as I call him. I know it's called Leviathan, I get that, but I choose to call him Leviathan. Because Leviathan would have been spelled differently anyway, but, you know, that's if you want to go by the actual pronunciation of how it's, you know, spelled in the pronunciation. But the way it's spelled is how you pronounce the way you pronounce it, even though that you wouldn't think that. That's the true facts about pronouns and pronunciations about stuff. That's why a lot of people hate pronunciations. Because everybody thinks, I mean, a lot of people think it's okay, but then a lot of people think, well, you need to pronounce it right. Why? Because I am a him and or she. No, I am just me. That's it. I'm not identifying as anything. I am what I am, and if you can't accept that, then you need to get on with life and leave me the hell alone. Don't drag me into your pitiful fight. You know? It's not my fault, it's not my choice, okay? It's not my fight, not my war. It's not my problem. My problem is, how do I survive, you know, living each and every day, doing what I want to do that's positive, instead of worrying about something that's so negative, like of that, or worrying about what happened so many years ago. Look, I get that it happened. I'm not one to say that I'm against that, you know, or actually I am against that. You know, what happened back then, because, you know, it doesn't make us better people. You know, it was a tragedy. It should have never occurred. And that's the problem with it, you know. And it did happen. But here's another fact for you. A lot of things have happened since we've been in, you know, a lot of deaths have happened. Celebrity deaths, people that are so close to us. I was not that close to Michael Jackson. But it is what it is. You know, he passed away. It's a shame of what he did to Eminem. I didn't know that at all. Like, no whatsoever. But when it comes to Eminem, I feel like in a lot of ways he's just not a rapper anymore. I feel like he's a good singer, but he's not a rapper. So in the instance that anybody thinks that he's still a rapper, you're just wrong. He doesn't rap anymore. You know. And I really had to break it to you, but yeah, he's a good singer. He just doesn't rap anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to rap, you don't want to rap. It's like when, the same thing I could have said about people wearing tattoos, you know? Yeah, there's something wrong with you wearing a tattoo. No, except not really, you know? It's also the same thing I could have been saying, there's something wrong with being, you know, green, so I'd rather be pink than green. I'd rather everybody be pink, or I'd rather be mixing with other pinks and stuff like that, you know? That is racist and wrong. Stuff I don't condone. I was also watching this stuff about T-Cap. If you know what that is, you know, it's to catch a predator. And I was thinking to myself, you know, and this is gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna be like, nice. Now, and I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by this before you get the wrong idea. Is because it's nice for the sake of justice. The achievement has been done. We can finally get this guy. Unfortunately, he passed away because he kept getting in trouble, kept getting caught, and I tell you what, yeah, you know. And the thing is, I'd be like, yeah, finally, you can incarcerate the guy and get him off the streets for good. No, I don't mean nice for him, because he kept doing things and getting caught after, you know, because he, and it wasn't, okay, I thought it was a dumb statement to say how Chris Hansen didn't do it hard enough. He doesn't need to. That's not his job. His job is to catch these guys and get them off the street as best he can. The unfortunate thing about Ninth Dimension, even if you have Reflect on, doesn't do you any bit of good. So it can bypass it. There are many things that can bypass Reflect. You know, just so you know. Edge gained a dumb level. I don't care about that. Hey, we found a save point. That's good. We need to really heal up because we don't have a slew of you know, ethers here. We don't even have enough dry ethers to feed our party here. You know, our ever-growing party. I want to say that as well. Wow, he actually is at 41. 1991. I don't remember if that was a good year or a bad year. But I was around. I've been around here for a long time. I'm 40 years old. And I admit that some of my new content now kind of looks like what I did when I first started doing this on emulation. But it's not that bad compared to back then. Back then it was like the worst, absolute worst. It wasn't too bad compared to considering my first time doing it. No, but it was compared to what I could do and what I could make better of. Even though, see, the problem that people don't realize is it's much harder than you think it is in this world that we live in to when it comes to Windows and stuff. Absolutely make everything as fashionably as we can, whether it's a laptop or a desktop. Laptops can make just as well as good effectively as much as a desktop can. Even a good graphics card can be put in, but oh wow, we have this here. Stupid. Okay. Another empty room. I'm glad for this. I mean, I remember a version where it was like, why aren't there any doors, you know? Or this, where I actually went through it the one time and there wasn't any doors. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, I just, you know, I know I've been going on about this, but literally, life is what it is. Oh, jeez, no! Of course, now he can't get no EXP for that. Thanks a lot, jerk. Because that is a basic one-shot kill. Yeah, I don't care that you learned that. What do we got here? Fumo Shuriken. Okay. I'm actually going to revive him with a regular deal. I like Cecile. I like Edge as a character, but I don't like what he has done. That's the problem with him. Ooh, a light curtain. I don't even remember what that does. What does it do? Reflect? No, that's horrible. I like the name though. It's pretty. It's alright though. Yep. It's almost like a non-recurring thing, but it was almost like a common thing at the same time for trapdoors. But it became more of a thing almost every once in a while for just like trap tests, you know, that were actually monsters, and it was something that, you know, no, you can't kill off my summoner. It's just definitely not allowed. I wish I could actually stop that, you know. Anyway. So yeah, pretty much this is my life. If you have a problem with that, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. As most people you meet on the internet are not all going to be equally the same. A lot of us are going to have a lot of disabilities and whatnot. And we're not doing it for, a lot of us are not going to be in the same thing, where we're all in it for the money. Ooh, a light sword, what the hell is that? Holy sword shining with divine light. Sounds boring. But I guess it's a good weapon, it sounds like, but it's still terrible on attack and everything. Ooh, nice. 2,000. He breaks 2,000 HP. Congratulations, Cecile. Like I said, the Paladin class, I may not have liked because of the sacrifice you get for it, but it still, you know, has a lot of more uses, because he's like a, becomes like a tank, like a light tank, but more than a dark tank. If that makes any sense, because he basically can actually use, you know, more stuff. You can't use like a bunch of spells or anything like that, but which sucks about it. But hey, it would be nice. But after all, and he's already got the crown on, so I guess he's going to become a king. I guess I don't know if that's a significant thing or not. And I hit the wrong thing, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Sometimes it's better to. Oh, okay. You know what? Good. I really don't care. Yep. Yeah. I'm just gonna let him die. Surprise. It turned into a chimera. That's a thing. That was not good. Yeah. Until she learns full life, which I think she can learn, Rosa, pretty much, I'm pretty sure white mages can learn full life. But, it's just not our problem, so. But it shows you she does, it's just kind of, you know. I'm not even going to bother to bring back, Edge. Yeah. I admit that a lot of stuff he does is pretty candy and stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff that isn't. Not in my book. They're still not forgivable. So I'll go ahead and revive him, I guess, since we kind of have to have him for now. And eventually, I won't have to have him, which is going to be good. So we're going to go back to a save point. Where in the world is that save point, by the way? Was that it? No, that wasn't it. Yeah. Okay, let's go. We don't have time for this crap. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, pretty much that's my whole stance on this. And if you got a problem with me, then so be it. I mean, I don't mind talking it out like decent human beings, but you can't just expect people to be like, yeah, it's fine, just berate my content, you know? And yet, it really doesn't deserve that. It's another reason why I don't like the idea of people keep trying to support the idea of bringing back dislikes, because, yeah, I mean, you can still dislike a video. When, you know, and not to make anything worse, but if you actually have a short video, there's a number counter there when you dislike a video. Yeah, versus an actual video that's not an actual video, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. A video that's more longer than a short one. And I like YouTube because there's music here that I can play and listen to. And that's would be my only main general reason left to even bother with YouTube. Even though I'm sure you can get a lot popular, but I don't care about none of that. Like I said, I wouldn't mind having a fan base, but I don't want too much of one where you'll have to recognize me on the street. So I don't want no obsessive fans trying to do this and that. You know, Jason David Frank came to be a victim of that. And it wasn't like he was, like he, you know, died because of it. No. They were able to catch that in time. What happened to him was, well, you pretty much already read the article, right? Well, he had the S word that happened to him. Suicide. And suicide happened from reports. Believe it or not, it started out as a rumor. And I would consider that a rumor because it was not confirmed nor denied of whether or not that happened. So I wasn't going to just say, yeah, it's for real, until it was actually, it came out from when they were ready to talk about it. The people that were actually more around this guy, who actually knew him. So that's when you knew it was real, when they finally came out about it. But anyway, so what happened to him was, because he got accused, which is the craziest thing, but yeah, it does happen to some people. He committed suicide because, and get this, he was accused of cheating on his own wife, and it never happened. So, yeah, and it wasn't even anything about that until the wife came out, or somebody said something about it. She came out about it, said something, I don't remember what it was specifically. But yeah, I mean, this is what happened to him. But that don't explain what happened to him, why he changed so much. And I'm just going to say this for the record, that I don't care that people change. What I care about is how it affects them as a person that I've always known for many, many years. The basic main core of them. Because, like, okay, he used to have long hair. Then he became short hair. He was even bald for a little while. He even had shorter hair. A mohawk, I didn't see that. And I don't care that people have long hair, short hair. That's not the issue here. The issue is what they become. And it's not just because they have tattoos, but what drove you there shouldn't have been the thing. Like, he was not the exact same guy. He still used, you know, karate, but he was never doing it the same way he did, like he was doing it on TV. And what sucked is, well, about this character was that when he played in the new movie, they didn't include a Zord for it. They thought, well, that's just for kids. How is that for kids? I don't see a kid hopping inside. Well, okay, excluding the Power Rangers Turbo. We're not counting. But we're talking about kids that actually get inside of a Zord. As fake as it is. I mean, like, literally, these were stunt-made characters. They said that there was actually stunt actors that were in the suits. I don't know about that. I think for the main majority of it, most of the cast actually were in their own costumes, doing their own fight scenes. And you could definitely tell it was them. But not all of them, and you wouldn't have been able to tell that, but, you know, there is a way to definitely tell. Like with Jason David Frank. It was behind his own costume. Yep, the whole time. Even Austin St. John was behind his own deal. And including Walter Jones and Johnny Young Bosch was behind his own costume. Johnny Young Bosch, okay, I'm gonna admit this right now, here and now. I hated the crap out of that guy. And this is before he became the guy that I actually respected. And I'm sorry it came out this way, but it was just that way. Because it wasn't his fault, but even then, I hated him. Because he became this next secondary Power Ranger that was, he took over the role after Walter E. Jones. I thought, why did he go and become him? But then when he became Ichigo, that's when I respected him and thought, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, but truly, he is not the first ever one. He's actually second of the first generation of Power Rangers. In the order of appearance, because what happened there was there was so much stuff that went on. I don't know if the exact details of which is actually true and accurate, because I've heard so many stories. Walter E. Jones, or Emmanuel Jones, whatever his name is, supposedly had so many contract disputes, and there was supposed to be some kind of a fight that broke out. I don't know, something about that with the directors. The thing that made the show also, that nobody even knew when it was coming out, unless you were actually that tight-knit close to the cast at the time, just like Star Trek. But I don't think they really made a bit of a huge of a deal about it back then as they did, because it was nothing, you know. But they made a deal with, I don't know why, but anyway, with Power Rangers. The character of Billy was not gay, but the actor is. And I'm not just saying it to make fun of people or anything like that. I can say that without it being like that, because it's not like, oh, ha ha ha, he was so gay. No. It turns out that, yes, it's good to know. Yes, it is our business to know that he's gay. Not because, oh, well, we need to know his details of what he was doing in the bedroom. I think it's good that he came out because he was confident to know that, you know, that there was people out there that were going to respect him, but it's also terrible that we didn't know that there were going to be people that weren't going to support him. But we didn't know that until years later. So a lot of people that were around there did not support him. But the cast that were there, the original Power Rangers, actually supported him, believe it or not. Jason David Frank, all of them supported his choice. Really choice. That's what they used to call it back then. Sorry, I didn't mean to say choice, as it is not commonly referred to as today, but like back then, that's what they called it as. But it was more of, that's his life, and that's what he chose. And he also chose to remain loyal to the role of Billy being straight. So he did the best he can. And a lot of people played good roles. I mean, it's kind of, the thing I thought that was stupid about it was because of how that it would affect them mentally, to the point that they commit suicide or they just die, because it gets to them, because it's like, it's not the life they want to live forever. I get that they don't want to, but what got me was the whole idea is that they up and died. Because it affected them on a mental level. You know, they just couldn't portray it anymore, but they wanted to. That's what it was like. But they don't realize it. Because they were trying to be an actor, and they failed ultimately to keep that from, and it wasn't their fault. It just kind of happened. Then, and nobody even knew it was going to affect them mentally to the point of no return. They were to commit suicide or just die from the idea that they don't want to be this actor anymore. They want to be who they are for the rest of their life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not the question here. You know? I always thought it was dumb that they had to play the role because of that reason. That it affected them mentally. If it could be done without affecting them mentally, it wouldn't be a problem. And that's the only thing I have with it. Because I know it's hard to separate fiction from reality. especially once you get into that role and everything. But at the same time, because it's just something that mentally it happens. Again, I just say it's stupid that it does. It doesn't mean that it makes it go away, or that it's just. And yeah, it is wrong. It is wrong that it affects them. I mean, if it weren't wrong, then they wouldn't feel affected by that. Honestly, they wouldn't. And a lot of people think, well, maybe you shouldn't be talking about that. That's kind of offensive, you know. No, it's not. It's actually the truth about a lot of people who play straight roles, you know. And I've understood that. A lot of people don't. If you say that about me, you are a person who really doesn't understand the mentality of it. I understand it, but it doesn't make it less stupid. Okay. I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm calling them stupid either. But if that's what you still look at, that's your freaking problem, not mine. Because really, my whole goal is here is just to say that how much stupid it really is. Not to say like, oh well, stupid is going to make it go better or go away or anything like that. It's like when people sit there and bitch because I say something about like how old I am and how much problems I have, you know, but I'm still here. Whether I'm wearing a cane or not, they pick on me and say I'm so young. Dude, I may be 40 years old, but I still got a lot of problems. And it's been a proven old fact that mental health and physical does make you a lot more older than what you seem to be. Make you more crippled than what would you think. Anyway, I guess the moral of the story is the real true story. So people always have to judge. And this world just sucks. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just saying that it would be stupid to have the illness. It's like it is stupid for me to have this illness. Never thought about it like that. But yeah, but so what? It doesn't change it. I'm not trying to change it. Not with that anyway. I wouldn't anyway. That wouldn't work anyway. Because words alone don't work unless you can effectively do it where you can affect the mind like you can with a hypnosis. Like, you are not, you know, this and that. You are what you are. You are afraid to be a man. But don't be this and don't be that, you know, and whatever could work, I don't know. You know, you think that would be like a permanent cure or something, but it's not. Because eventually even that fades. And, anyway, I gotta go. I've been talking too damn long. I hate when I talk too long and I don't get nothing accomplished. Later.